As Catholics living in the United States, we're used to having regular access to our Lord in the sacraments, especially in the Eucharist, in which He, Jesus, is present, body, blood, soul, and divinity. However, with the COVID-19 pandemic, we're having to experience something that many other Catholics around the world today, but also throughout history, have themselves experienced: the inability to receive Jesus regularly in the Eucharist. In a time such as this, we can become familiar with another practice that is likewise ancient and widespread, that of making a spiritual communion. Together with being able to watch the Mass online or on TV, a practice which is just a few decades old, and spiritual communion, we still have the ability to be near to our Lord and invite Him to be near to us. So I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about what is spiritual communion and how do we do it. Basically, spiritual communion is just a prayer in which we express our belief in Jesus' real presence in the Eucharist. We express our desire to receive Him again there as soon as we can, and we express a desire that in the meantime, Jesus would come dwell with us spiritually. Now, it's definitely not the same thing. Making a spiritual communion is not the same thing as receiving Jesus in Holy Communion. In Holy Communion, there's the bread and wine, which become the body, blood, soul, and divinity, and we literally receive Jesus into our bodies and souls. But a spiritual communion still has great value and spiritual power. We're expressing to our Lord our desire to be near to Him, and He will respond to that prayer. That's why throughout the centuries, countless saints have not only practiced spiritual communion themselves, but they've encouraged the lay faithful to do so. Padre Pio and St. Teresa of Avila are two saints in particular among many who are famous for making this exhortation to the lay faithful and practicing it themselves. So how do you do it? There's really not, again, there's not a right or wrong way to make a spiritual communion. In your own words, expressing belief in Jesus in the real presence, expressing to Him your desire to receive Him there again, but your desire in the meantime for Him to dwell within you spiritually. On the website, we've given a couple examples, short ones, long ones. The important thing is to respond to this exhortation of the saints, to pray to Jesus, to make this spiritual act of communion, and to have confidence that He will both hear and answer your prayer.